And we're recording now too, so don't swear or do anything you didn't want to say in front of people, all right? Right, so click live on Facebook. Oh God, I found a new one. Choose where I want to go live. Hold on, so I want to go to a page. Should be on the ICANN page. It says preferring live streaming preview.
You figured a better place to. All right.
All right, are we there?
Yeah, where it says recording on the top left-hand side. We are.
Yeah, we're recording. It says live preparing, so hopefully we're getting there. There's that final moment where we're all panicking silently.
Well, I'm just more worried. I don't want to say anything in us recording this bit, and I don't want to have people see me saying something that's not right to be said.
Well,
so I'm just going to keep on drinking my coffee, and then we'll be good.
I can't see that we're live yet anyway, so.
Still, I'm not going to, I'm just going to keep on drinking my coffee. Oh, do you like the coffee cup? It says before coffee, and then after coffee.
I like that.
Yeah,
does anyone know if we're live yet?
Okay,
I can't even get onto the page for some reason.
1 second, I got you covered.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, let me just do my job. Freya's done her job. No, we're not.
No, right, let's stop that for a minute and I'll try again. Hold on.
Perfect. Actually, if you can do that, I can try a different spot. Because then I don't want to, we had to block up a room because Pat just decided that was a new toileting room, because why wouldn't he do that? So I'll see if I can get to a different window. I kicked people out. I was like, get out of here. Ah, here we go. Much nicer window. Much more space. You can see the outside, and I'm sure you'll be so thrilled because we had 15 centimeters last night of snow, and we're gonna have another 15 centimeters. So you can see that brightness behind me. That would be, there you go.
Sure. Lovely.
Yeah, it's gonna be lovely, but it'll be minus 30 today, so it won't be too lovely.
Are we like
different screen now? Hang on.
City instead?
Yeah, this is Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
so Okay, I'm on ICANN and it doesn't show at this moment.
No.
I'm just seeing which button I need to push now.
No worries. I'll keep drinking my coffee. Hi, cats. Oh, they must join. Why wouldn't they not join? Hi. Did you just get out of my spot? Thank you for that.
I can't find the button that says go live.
You can do it. You got it.
I don't know where it is. Hold on. They've changed it.
Let me try to help you out. Go live on Facebook. Okay.
I think people might have given up and gone away by this stage, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, okay, here she goes. Let me try to help you. Resources and tools.
Hang on.
Okay, how to go live on my Facebook page. Sorry, this would have been a job I've just been overwhelmed and didn't. Why can't I go live?
Yeah, it's not letting it, is it?
Well, why don't we just post it from like mine or yours, and then we can just go onto that as well. Or like
I'm just gonna have one more go and just see what happens. All right.
Or we could post it from WFA or Locks Dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome guide to Facebook Live. Yeah, live is popular. I understand that. Why they write so much shit? Yes, I understand why you can do this, why this is smart. This is why we're trying to do this, you idiots. Sorry. Okay, how do we get started on Facebook Live?
Hang on. Right.
Okay, got it.
Meet.
Live video. Oh, that's the difference. Okay. So if I did, yeah, I know you did. Oh, okay, so you can. I think you can only do it from your own personal newsfeed. It's like if I just did it from here, there. So if you go to your top of your newsfeed, you can see how it says live photo room. So what we could do is
What? It does not mind.
if you go to the top of my newsfeed, see how it says live photo room, the red button.
It
On your
doesn't
new
have that here for me.
I have an iPhone, so maybe that's why it likes me more.
Yeah, yours is different to mine.
It would help if I paid for this. Maybe that should be something I should start doing. So that's how I would
right,
do.
I've got it. Right.
Yay! Oh, yay!
Go.
There you go. Hi, everybody. We're live
Are we
on
there?
Facebook. We are meeting now. Now streaming live on Facebook. Yay!
Yes, hallelujah. Right, so just check we're in the right place.
And everybody can see me drinking coffee. I think that's fantastic in the world.
Hang on. Let's just check we're in the right place. Now I can't get the page to work. We're getting there slowly. My daughter would call us all Jims.
It does say that we are live now
Yeah,
on our page, so I'm assuming everybody can see us.
hopefully.
There's Meet the Team is live.
Excellent.
Yay!
Hey, hallelujah. Right, so I suppose, sorry we're late. We had some technical difficulties. We were planning on getting on at 6:10, but as my daughter would say, we're all Jims. So we finally worked out how to use it, and it's really good to meet you all. Yeah. Okay, so I think we should start by just saying a little bit about what ICANN actually is, and then we'll introduce ourselves so you can all get to know us a little bit better. Okay. So ICANN was founded by Lisa Tenzin-Dolma and is a group of organisations, educational providers, and now we do individual memberships as well. And we only use, recommend and teach force-free methods. At ICANN, we provide solidarity, support, networking and more, webinars, etc., for our members. And we also have on our website, we've got a list of all the professional organisations, and as some of those certify their own trainers and behaviourists, we have those written down on the website as well. Let me see, we have independent memberships where you can access the network and all its benefits, and so you don't have to be part of an organisation to join ICANN anymore. However, you do need to be part of an organisation that does its own certifying if you want to be a certified trainer or behaviourist with ICANN. You can join us by emailing icann.secretary@gmail.com. And you can find our website at https://companionanimalnet.network. Okay, that's pretty much what we are.
Underneath the live, I'll post all of the information so that people can easily access us and say hello to YouTube, because YouTube will be doing the emailing. If they want to say hello on Facebook, they'll be saying hello to me. But let's start with Karen first, because you two are both the coordinators.
Yeah, so I'm one of the coordinators along with Freya, and just to tell a little bit about myself, some of you might not recognize the accent. I'm South African and I'm sitting here in Cape Town, and while I think probably most of you are sitting in snow, we've got pretty much lots of sunshine, and we're swimming and stuff like that, so very different to, I'm sure, what most of you are experiencing at the moment. But yeah, I've been running a dog training school, Komiki Canine College, in Cape Town for, I think it's 12 or 13 years now. I am a member of ICANN through CAPPT, so the COPE Association of Pet Behaviorists and Trainers. I lectured for COPE for quite a few years. And at the moment, aside from running Cormier Canine College, which is basically a dog training school, everything from puppy socialization classes up to advanced sort of trick training and adolescent training and all that sort of thing. I'm also doing some online courses and webinars and things like that, which I really love teaching other behaviorists and trainers, so I'm branching out into that a little bit more. I love competing with my own dogs in rally freestyle elements. At the moment, I'm actually assisting Julie Flannery with one of her courses in Fenzi. And I also have a horse who has only been mine for 6 months. And I do a lot of clicker training with him. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
You actually have some awesome videos of you clicker training your horse. They're well worth checking out.
Yeah, it's quite funny because I taught him yesterday to give me a kiss, and somebody commented on my own private page like, well, how are you going to stop him from kissing everybody else? So I said, well, the only people who are going to be around him are like horsey people and they won't mind. And he said, well, as long as he doesn't kiss me. I was like, okay. But yeah, we think it's cute in the horse world.
He's adorable. He is absolutely adorable.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sure I'm probably one of the people that probably comment. I didn't comment that time, but I've commented other times because I know how much he loves carrots and how much he's like a carrot lover.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's a Clydesdale cross, so he's quite a stocky sort of built horse, and yeah, I get lots of sort of jokes about the fact that he kind of likes to eat his weight in food. He is quite a guts, but it's good for training. It's fantastic for training.
Yeah.
It's amazing actually what you can actually do, because I mean people always think of clicker training with dogs, don't you? But clicker can be used for all sorts of different animals.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I think unfortunately in Cape Town I haven't actually encountered, I think, more than 1 or 2 other people that are actually doing clicker training with horses. A lot of people say, oh yeah, no, I know about clicker training, but then when you ask about what food they're using, oh no, we don't use food. So they're still using sort of negative reinforcement. So it's it's really a lovely thing to do, and it's amazing actually. I didn't actually realize how quickly horses learn. There's quite a few things that are different to dogs. They tend to get frustrated more easily, and you feed them a lot because they pretty much graze the entire day. So you have to really, your rate of reinforcement has to be really high, and your rewards have to almost keep them chewing all the time. So everybody always laughs because he's constantly crunching in all the videos, but that's how he learns, and yeah, he's happy doing that.
I know how I'm the same.
Yeah. No, I love seeing the videos. I also like seeing how you're doing cooperative care with him, because that's one thing that I do really well. And so I love seeing how you're teaching him cooperative care, and also how to teach him how to not be spooked, because a lot of the times, like you say, like he was spooked by the donkey, which of course, I had to make a few funny comments about that because that's required in my world.
Yes.
But like when he was spooked by the donkey, you were showing how it's not just that the horse has to deal with it, it's that the horse has to be helped with the fear.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're very like contained. So horses don't do anything often until there's a big reaction. So you've got to really, really look at their body language because it's really subtle. And it's so easy to miss, especially when you're sitting on them and you're not in front of them. So you've got to really look for small changes. And it's funny things like there's a dog that always barks at us behind a fence when we go past, and he doesn't worry about it because he's used to dogs. But yesterday when we went past, the dog was fast asleep under a tree, and suddenly that was up weird because the dog wasn't barking at him. So it's but the clicker training is wonderful because when he's wary of bin day and there's bins out, he now wants to go touch all the bins. In fact, I had a bit of a sort of worrying moment where he almost tried to climb into the back of the recycling truck to touch all the bags, because I've taught him to like touch stuff that he's not, that he's a little bit worried about, and he's done so much with touching bins and recycling that he thought, oh, there's a whole lot of it, I'll go and get rewarded for doing that. So yeah, but it's great. It really helps him build confidence, which makes everything safer for everybody.
And I was going to say, I was going to get into what Freya is doing with her anxiety course, and because I think that how you're teaching Jedi is so good, because you're helping him with his fears. And I was thinking about Freya and your fantastic new course, which I'm going to post about tomorrow on our Facebook page, because you're having a free new 15-minute webinar. Can you tell us more about that?
So in my other life, I'm a carer as well as working with dogs. I work with I look after various people in my family, and anxiety is something that has struck all of us pretty bad, especially through COVID. And obviously, I mean, a lot of people struggle with anxiety in that anyway on a general day-to-day basis. I mean, in our house, it's been like a thing for years, for all three of us for various different reasons. I mean, I had anxiety and PTSD from some bad life experiences. My daughter had social anxiety as a result of some bullying that she experienced at school, and it really affected her. And my son has autism, so he gets anxious as part of that. So anxiety is something that's kind of is hovered around our house for quite a while. And last year I went away for the week, and I went to Devon, and I was doing my dog CPD, that kind of thing. And it struck me while I was there that because both my children are grown up, so they're able to sort of manage for themselves for the week, so that wasn't an issue. But I thought to myself when I got there, if I'd run out of dog food, then my daughter wouldn't have been able to go to the pet shop because she had been panicking too much. If something had happened to the dog, then she wouldn't have been able to ring the vets because she'd be panicking, because with her type of anxiety, it involves speaking to people. So and that's just something that she really used to struggle with. I mean, she's not so bad now, we're all getting there. But it would be daft things like she could take the train from one end of the country to the other, but she couldn't get the bus into Newmarket 3 miles down the road because it would mean talking to the bus driver. And people think with anxiety, they think it's something that's in your head and, it's not that bad, but it's actually really crippling for some people. And then another way that people experience it is through things like agoraphobia and that kind of thing, and just general panic attacks and all sorts of different things. But the thing is, these people, like us included, quite often have pets because, pets are, they're great, aren't they? And, they're our friends, and the thing is, when they have all these pets, then they struggle with going to training classes, or they might struggle with the vets, or they might struggle ringing up insurance companies, that kind of thing. And what can happen is then obviously sometimes the dog's behaviour might go, a bit skewiff, or, they haven't trained as well as they want to. And then when they're out and about walking the dogs, if the dogs are misbehaving even more because they haven't been trained, then that just compounds the anxiety even further. And, people with anxiety, there's so many different things that they have going on. It's impossible to sort of lump them all into one box. So each of these people needs something sort of separate to help them and encourage them on their way. So I've been setting up separate courses on, because I already have Locks, Dogs Trainer and Behaviourist, but I've been setting up a separate arm to that called Locks, Dogs Fun, Not Fear. And with that, we've been making courses and groups, and we've been involving other professionals, because I'm not actually trained in anxiety particularly, but I've obviously got a lot of people that are, so I've been bringing those people in to guide me, and they'll be having input on the courses and that kind of thing. They'll be doing lives and webinars and doing, I've got a lady that's doing breathing exercise videos and all sorts of other things. So we're gonna we're working at both ends of the lead. So because I honestly think if we could sort out some of the humans' anxiety, then a lot of their dogs' behaviours will be better too. Because dogs pick up on our problems as well, and so the more that we can do to help the human, I think the better the outcome is for the dog.
Definitely. So it really sounds wonderful. It
yeah,
really
it's my baby at the moment, and I don't think anybody else has really done it in the way that I'm doing it. So yeah, it's just kind of my mission for the next year or so, just to get it really off the ground and make a good thing out of it, so yeah, fingers crossed it will help some people. Anyway, it's definitely helping me, put it that way. So
I know I can remember Stephanie, I can't say her last name, of the Holistic
Stephanie
Dog
Zickman. Yes, she's actually recording some videos for me, to teach people how to do their grooming, because obviously going to the groomers is something else that can be a minefield if you've got anxiety. So she's going to teach us through the basics of like looking after your dog at home, so you know, doing nails and brushing and that kind of thing, you know, like things that we assume people know, but they don't, not always, you know. And if they're too worried about asking, then you know, it's ultimately it's the dogs that suffer. So you know, we try and make it as trying to make all these sort of things as accessible as possible for everybody. So yeah, Stephanie's coming on board and she is absolutely amazing. She is one of our iCount members, and she wins all sorts of awards and things up in Scotland for her force-free dog training and grooming, and she's such a nice lady as well. I'm absolutely honoured to have her on board. So yeah, and we've got yeah, I mean, I've been speaking to different counsellors and you know, people that we're bringing in. So it's quite exciting actually. The ISCP, they've been sort of helping me on board a little bit and recommending people towards, you know, like helping me out with the courses and that kind of thing. You know, because obviously in there they've got so many professionals of different things, you know, they know who to talk to. So yeah,
the ISCP is International School of Canine Psychology, just so anybody knows.
And that's another iCan organization.
And we'll link a few of all of our underneath ones. Also, I just want to interrupt. I just posted underneath our Facebook Live. If anybody has any questions, so they can post underneath our Facebook Live so they can interact with us, because we have
yeah. If not, they can always leave questions and we can pick them up afterwards. So
yeah. And Caroline says, great to hear all. She says, great to hear what you're all up to. So just say hi to Caroline, who doesn't.
Hi, Caroline. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Caroline. We just did a webinar last year. Actually, last year we did another webinar as well. But last week we just did a webinar together on grooming without fear. So she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think also, like, to go back to what you're saying, the breathing exercises are critical. And so one thing that my physiotherapist, because I obviously had to have surgery for endometriosis, which is, you know, 10% of all women have this disease, is my physiotherapist said I need to do my breathing techniques on a consistent basis, so that way I can actually help my body heal. And so she said anytime I'm doing any of these, anytime that I'm doing any dog training or any webinars, I should be doing breathing techniques, because not only do they help with anxiety and decrease the pain, they also help the hips. So because your diaphragm is connected to the tendons that go down into your hips. So it's like a whole body exercise. So if we have anybody who's only, say they're walking the dog and they're like, oh my God, my dog is so frustrating. So please do take some breathing techniques, like breathing in like you're smelling a flower, and then breathing out like you're blowing out a candle, just so you can kind of calm down. And then you can kind of look at your dog and say, okay, how can I help you? Versus, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. So that's one thing about anxiety, that's people don't think how critical breathing techniques is. But like when I have a flare up, or if I'm having a bad day, breathing is what calms me down. It is incredibly important. And there's even, is it Leslie McDevitt or who teaches the breathing technique for the dog?
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
Yeah, she does the pattern techniques and things as well.
There's another one that's taught where they can teach the dog how to breathe.
Yeah, you can teach the dog to take a deep breath, can't you? Yeah. I'd have to find a link for that.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, you know, like with Taryn, I know. Oh, there you go. Carolyn just wrote. She said yes, and combine lead strokes and time with your breath. That's awesome. That's a fantastic note, Caroline. Thank you so much for that. Because I think we forget, like, you know, if you mime the leash. Well, I'll use my headset here. So if you're gonna mime the leash right here like this, you mime the leash, take a deep breath, take a deep breath. And so these are some things I think that you're gonna go through in much greater detail. And I'm really happy that Caroline brought that up, because we forget that when we're with our dogs or with our animals, whether it's a horse or a cat who's just right here next to me, aren't you? That they're sentient beings and we are not trying to control them. We're trying to help create a better existence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, as well as all of that, I have the Dog Welfare Alliance as well, which is that's a non-profit, and what we do is we enable professionals and members of the public to take a declaration of force-free intent, and then they join us, and the professional, they get they get an advert basically on our website, so they get to join the database of all the other professionals on there that have taken our declaration, and all the subscriptions, which is £10 a year for that, and all the subscriptions they are then sent off to rescues and shelters that practice force-free methods across the world. So I've got that to do, and that's, you know, that's one of my little pet projects. That was also started by Lisa Tenzin-Dolmer, and she passed it down to me about a year ago now. So, and we've built a new website, and we've been adding bits to it and putting things in place. So that's got hopefully some exciting expansions coming up. Yeah, and as well as that, I work on various social media with ISCP. I am a secretary of Interdogs. Interdogs is an organisation of force-free behaviourists and trainers, and they certify their professionals. You know, I was saying about how ICANN has a list of certified professionals, which are certified by external organisations. Well, Interdogs is one of those organisations. So yeah, I'm on the committee and I do that work with those. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I spend all my time on the computer at the moment. So what about you, Ruby?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Taryn probably spends all her time with a horse or with Rosie and Cruz.
Yeah, as much as I can.
Yeah, I was just going to bring in that Taryn has Rottweilers and how she uses positive reinforcement with bigger dogs, and I think we need to bring that into consideration, because there's that often, you know, myth that you need to have a heavier hand with bigger animals. And I know that I see how you do your rally things with your dogs, and how you're doing a lot of your posts, and how you're showing in your posts that with dogs of all breeds and all sizes, and horses of all breeds and all sizes, you don't need a heavier hand.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I was actually the head trainer at a Rottweiler club for quite a few years, and yeah, there is that misconception that big dogs, not just Rottweilers, but lots of big dogs, that they need to be sort of spoken to very firmly, and you've got to discipline them, and it always breaks my heart a little bit, but it's an opportunity to educate and to show a better way. And yeah, I mean, often, you know, when I get puppies, large breed puppies in classes, particularly of the guardian type breeds, and I find people are sort of barking orders at them, and then I sort of, you know, try and explain that we don't need to do that. I mean, yeah, it's not ever a training technique, with my dogs at all. Everything is very gentle. So they're actually incredibly sensitive. They're really big babies, and you know, if you even get, if we get excited and have an excited conversation, you can see they're like, you know, they're not used to raised voices and things like that. So yeah, it is great to be able to show people that it doesn't matter, the size of the dog or the horse, but you don't need to physically do unpleasant things to them or psychologically intimidate them, and that it's really about building a bond. And when you've built that bond and they have fun, as Freya, your thing, fun, not fear, and that's exactly what it is. It's, do you want your animal working with you because they're having fun being with you, or because they're actually afraid of you? And nobody wants their animal to be afraid of them. So being able to show people that they don't have to do things which make their animals afraid is really quite a privilege, I think.
Well, I actually have a saying. Oh, I've got a bit of a. But I actually have a saying that there's nothing that you can't teach a dog with, or any animal for that matter, with fun, that you can't that you can teach a dog. We'll start again. Right, there is nothing that you can teach a dog with fear that you can't teach with fun, apart from fear itself. And it's true when you think about it. The only thing that you can't teach with fun is fear.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And I think that kind of goes in with the ICANN code of ethics, because we have a whole page of our code of ethics about how we need to make sure the animal welfare, meeting the welfare needs, and then meeting the positive reinforcement needs. These are all part of who we are. And if you don't meet these ethics, unfortunately, you can't be a part of ICANN. And we want to have, we want to have as many people as we possibly can, but we want to make sure that we have the highest standards of the people that are part of our group. So like on Facebook, we have a whole Facebook group where we have 693 members, and we try to always support them. And Taryn and Freya and I help a lot for social media. I do a lot of the social media side, but they help me a lot with links, and we have a team of volunteers who are who are, oh, Caroline just said thanks, loves that saying, Freya. So thank you, Caroline. You know, we have a team of people. So if we want to support our people, we want to support our members, we want to support the standards that we meet, and we want to also create a safe community, not just for the animals, but for the people as well. Because I think that, like you say, like there's so many people who train with fear, and we want to train with fun. So I'm really pleased that you're doing that. And you have your little code, your little like hashtag. Anyways, about me, I like to drink coffee. That's usually me. I live in Canada, and right now it's, what is it, minus 15 right now. It'll be minus 30 tonight. It's snowing, because why wouldn't it be snowing? It's February. It always snows in February. And I lived in China for 8 years in Chengdu, and I did my work in China. And then I came back here to have some surgery and stayed. And these ladies kind of wrote me in, and they're like, okay, you're going to be the ICANN social media manager. I was like, all right, sure, why not? I run Welfare for Animals, which is an animal welfare and dog training business. My focus is on low stress, anything like low stress walks, low stress handling, low stress, vet visits, low stress grooming. I focus on fear-free techniques. I'm fear-free certified for grooming and veterinary. And I also focus on low stress handling for, let's say, if you need to take your dog to the vet, how am I going to teach your dog how to go to the vet and not be scared? Because that's really important for cooperative care. I also do force-free training and one-to-ones in Calgary, and I offer sniffy walks. So I like to do a lot of teaching, which again, Caroline's been awesome with that for the Marketplace. If you have any webinars that you want to see, go to the Marketplace. They're one of our members. They have loads and loads of that. So I keep busy. I have next week, I'm launching, it was supposed to be a few weeks ago, but technical issues as per usual. Technology is our friend, but sometimes it is our enemy. Probably next week. Kaylin Holmes said hello, Taryn. So anyway, so technology has been my friend, but now it's my enemy at the moment. And I have to put the course I was going to do like as an online webinar. Now it's like a mini course, and so I should be launching that. I really hope next week on how to reduce stress on walks. So that should be quite good. And it kind of lead to a module where I'm going to have online grooming course as well, which I'm going to do with some of my clients and kind of teach them and get videos and show people that they can do grooming without any restraint. They can do grooming where they can respect the dog's boundaries, respect the dog's choices, start buttons and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
And it's so valuable, just that cooperative grooming that you're teaching. During lockdown, obviously, in South Africa, in this sort of harsher stage of lockdown, we couldn't even go out to exercise at all. And as a result, Cruz actually ended up with some toe tendon injuries, because when he was able to go out again, we were also only allowed to walk around the neighborhood, and it's a whole long story, but basically walking on the gravel roads and not having exercised, he ended up with injuring a couple of toe tendons. And just exercises that I've had to do, like from physio point of view, because we've got a fabulous physio, and basically the stuff she's given me to do, having my dogs able to cooperate with things. I can actually, when we come back from a walk, say to Cruz, ask him to go into a flat position. He will literally, and he's a bouncy dog, he'll literally drop down onto his side and lie there and wait for me to do stretches and stuff. And then the moment I say, okay, and he bounces up for his treats. But he's totally happy to offer that position. He knows the drill. If I do stretches with his neck and that sort of thing, he comes to the middle position. In fact, he's pushing his way in to get there before I'm ready. So it really is so helpful when you can do stuff and it's not frightening for the dog, it's not upsetting for them. In fact, it's just another trick.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly it. I think that we forget that our dogs have emotional states, and that we forget that they have fear, and that we should just force them into position. And I'm like, that's kind of the old way of thinking, is that you hold your dog down, and you hold your dog down, you can do everything. But then they go into emotional shutdown. And then the next time you try to do a nail trim, you try to do like a grooming or take them to the vet, the dog will be even more petrified. So, if we're learning about anxiety in human beings, we need to learn about fear, anxiety, and stress in dogs. And so I think that doing grooming, because that's, this online course I'll be doing soon, which I should be offering in March, as well as always offering online consults. It's going to help a lot of people, because people want to help their dogs. They might not be able to have a groomer come over. So a lot of people right now are in lockdowns, and how do I trim my dog's nails? How do I clean their ears? How do I cut mats? So these are all things that people have always asked me about. I'm like, well, now I can teach you through this course, because I think people, like a dog guardian, when they have the opportunity to learn, they want to learn.
Mm.
Sorry, Patches. My cat's right next to me, trying to, like, he's like demanding pets. Or
Which cat is it today?
Patches. The other two decided they'd be in a food coma. So Marmalades and Spark are probably like laying down, but Patches likes to run around and eat everybody else's food when they're all sleeping, and then goes back to bed. So I'll leave them be. But yeah, no, I have cats. I don't have a dog at the moment. I have 3 cats with behavioral issues. So I don't think that it's respectful to have an animal that's a dog with these, a cat who is a little bit sick, and another cat who's very fearful, another cat who's just pretty much, well, I don't want to say some words I want to say, but he's a very confident big boy. So how about that? So I have other choice words, but Freya told me I was not allowed to swear, so I've chosen to not swear at this very moment. Well, your fault. So what can we offer people who want to join ICAN? What do you think, ladies? Since you're the coordinators, and they're going to contact you first by email, and then they get to deal with me at the end of it.
Well, first of all, I mean, we offer them a chance to meet other force-free individuals, to network with different professionals who operate on a force-free ethos, the same as we do. I mean, everybody that joins ICAN, we vet them very carefully. We look through all their social media, we look through all their internet stuff. We're quite thorough who we let in and who we don't let in, so that anybody on the
we're not creeping. Just so people know, we're not like stalking them. We're actually just making sure that we're
not stalking, but we do have to be very careful that we can trust all of our members. And I think that is one of the things our members can do, is they can trust each other to give each other good advice. We don't allow any bullying or anything like that within the group, which I think is largely down to Ruby. Ruby's very good at preventing this from that happening. But I think across the industry, there does seem to be a bit of a culture sometimes of, like, people picking on each other and that, and we don't have any of that in ICAN. We just don't allow it. So you have a safe space in which to ask people for advice. You have a safe space in which to bounce ideas around. We advertise each other's webinars and things like that, so you can tune in and see what the other guys are up to. It's just a nice place to network, really, with other people who are in force-free animal care.
Yeah, I think the community group for the ICAN members is a very supportive environment. So I think people feel free to post something, ask a question, discuss something that they're dealing with colleagues, and ask for advice about stuff, or just raise interesting topics, knowing that it's going to be received in a friendly, kind, supportive manner. And that, as you said, we don't allow any bullying, any negativity. We look after each other. That's what's really important, I think. Because as we all know, those of you watching who are working in the industry, it does come with its challenges. And it's hard enough without us making life difficult for each other. So we want to be there to look after each other. That's actually one of the things that I'm really passionate about. I did a course at the end of last year on basically looking after our emotional and physical safety as behaviorists and trainers, which I will offer again. And it's just something that so many people do struggle with, that having a supportive environment where we can reach out to each other, I think really is good, and ICAN is certainly that kind of environment.
Definitely.
Also, I think it's important because a lot of the force-free groups, they sort of pertain to one animal in particular, usually dogs or horses, but we actually cover everything from rabbits to birds to reptiles to, all the companion animals, basically, and even some of the more exotic ones.
We're essentially like an umbrella organization. That's the best way to describe it. We're an umbrella over all species and all organizations who can join to be a part of this code of ethics. And especially with the UK behavior charter being drawn up right now, we want to be a part of that and support people who are supporting legislation to make sure that positive reinforcement and force-free training and code of ethics are being a part of the industry. So that's really important. Also, we have, I think, 12,000 people on our Facebook page. And so if you're a part of our members, we do post and we do support all of our members on a consistent basis. We also try to make it fun because, you know, it can be boring at times because, you know, posting all the time and be like, oh, okay, whatever. But we try to make it fun by having really fun posts on Facebook, and try to have an animal per month that we support and kind of, you know, raise awareness about. So we'll be opening that surprise next week as to which animal it is. We already know, the lady has already decided. So I'm very excited for this animal, but we like to raise awareness on issues, like to raise awareness about animals, because I think the biggest thing about being in the industry is that we are either so into what we do and we can sometimes forget about that there's other people and other species.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Like
also
horses.
welcome non-profit organizations that are doing work with animals. So as long as they, again, adhere to the force-free ethos, we have a fantastic organization in South Africa called Fundanenja, and they're one of our members, and they it means teaching or learning with the dog. So basically it is a program for children in informal settlements that basically learn positive reinforcement training with their dogs, but it has huge social implications for their lives. It's made such a difference to that community. So yeah, we really would welcome any organizations that are doing welfare work, that are doing any kind of nonprofit work. If you've got a force-free ethos like that, then yeah, please do contact us as well, and we would love you to join in so we can support you and raise awareness for your organization.
And of course, non-profits can join for free as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I was like nonprofit stuff for free because, you know, although it does cost a bit of money for members and associations, we want to make sure that nonprofits are supported as long as they meet the code of ethics. And I think, you know, like Fundanenja is just an astounding organization. I'm so proud of what they do. And we do support our organizations as well. So like, let's say the ISCP or Into Dogs, like Into Dogs had Geek Week last year, and the ISCP had the new courses or international canine behaviors, one of our founding organizations, those three. They always do nice, fun webinars on behavior information. Oh my God, it's really snowing. Anyways, sorry, we're having a blizzard right now. It just turned into a blizzard. So the ICP, International Canine Behaviorists, they have fantastic webinars, I think, every month or so, where they post from different behaviors within their members. And so we want to support our members. We want to support our umbrella. So whether you're working with reptiles or you're working with birds, we want to support you and help spread the word of what you're doing to help animals.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really good point to actually end on as well.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. I was like, yeah, I'm like, oh God, there's a blizzard. I'll send you the photo.
If anyone has any questions or anything they want to ask us and they're catching up with this a bit later on, then just drop comments underneath and we will see them at some point and we will endeavour to answer you. Yeah. Again, if anybody is interested in joining, they can go to https://companionanimal.network. Or you can email us at ican.secretary@gmail.com.
I'll include that in the Facebook.
Brilliant. Thank you.
The Facebook Live as well. So I'll get that open. So yeah, so I'll get that open and then ready for you guys. So anybody who has any questions can access us or access our website with just a click of your paws.
Excellent.
What is that paw doing?
Right, well, it's been lovely chatting with you ladies, and see you all soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.